Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, November 21st of 2021, 11/21 of 2021. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Our topic for today is about humans and animals. What is our relationship? What is our relationship as we move into the era of peace specifically? Right now, our relationship with animals has been, some animals we love and we treat them like royalty. Other animals, not so much. And it's pretty sad and very heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and difficult to even talk about. And I think that, there are some of the portions of humanity that benefit greatly from that relationship, especially financially. And there are others who feel that it is just a necessary evil, a necessary part of life. And so they kind of close down their hearts and turn the blind eye to it. And in the era of peace, such turning the blind eye, the heedlessness, the cruelty for profit, that can't exist. It can't exist in an era of peace. So we're going to look today. I want to share with you, this is question number 5 in the series from the upcoming book, The Answer is Love, Questions to Explore as we transition into an era of peace. And this question, of course, is about the relationship between human and animals. Are we meant to eat animals? What is that relationship? And from the healing perspective and the transformation perspective that this meditation and healing circle focuses on, we're going to really get into mercy, because in the download that came through in that book, it was a lot about mercy. And mercy, there is mercy in everything. There is mercy in everything. There is mercy for us human beings in everything. There's mercy, and there's, when it's time for us to change some belief or behavior, the form of mercy changes. And so we can no longer sustain ourselves or get along peacefully or live in health or abundance or sustainability or sufficiency with this form of mercy. So that changes, and we are compelled to seek a different form of mercy. So we're going to work with the divine names of mercy, divine attributes of mercy in our meditation and healing circle today to help us to open to the higher forms of mercy, the higher mercies, the divine attributes of mercy, compassion, kindness, and the flow of blessings. Well, maybe I'll have to add another one in there. But we're going to work with those today in our meditation to help us to open and to receive mercy into the deeper layers of our being, so that we are in touch with the new mercy that is coming through. It's not new mercy, excuse me for that, but the mercies that are coming through to help us to shift out of our old ways of being and to truly subsist in an era of peace on the inner and on the outer. That means on our inner planes, in the core of our beings, as well as how that ripples out into our outer behaviors and patterns and things like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come into our circle, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And together, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. And just imagine, perceive this pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle, filling all of our virtual space with pure divine light, letting all of our virtual space be purified with this vibration of pure divine light as it completely fills the space, purifying the impurities, clearing out the dust and the cobwebs and the shadows, cleaning all of that up, burning that up out of our space, and filling and infusing our space with pure divine light. And as you come into this circle, let yourself be met with this light. Breathe this light in. Let it fill your chest space. Let it surround and penetrate your heart center. Let it cleanse and purify. Just let it cleanse and purify your heart. And as your blood circulates through your physical heart and through all of your body, let that blood be purified with this vibration of pure divine light. Let it be infused with the vibration of pure divine light. And as it is infused, your blood is 92% water. And water is a great carrier of energy and vibration. So let the energy of your blood be that vibration, carry that vibration of pure divine light, and let it carry it and deliver that nutrition, that nourishment of pure divine light to every cell of your body. And breathe that in. And as that pure divine light is delivered to every cell of your body, invite the cells of your body. Just put a call out to every cell of your body. Broadcast. Invite the cells of your body to open and to receive this pure divine light, and allow the consciousness that lives within every cell of your body, right? As every cell of your body carries consciousness, invite that consciousness to be cleansed and purified with this pure divine light. Invite that consciousness to be cleansed and purified with this pure divine light. And breathe it in, receive it into the core of your body. And as you exhale, drop down into your pelvic bowl and let it land. Just let yourself receive pure divine light. And again, let's bring our hearts together at the center of our circle. Together we call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your unconditional love. And just feel, perceive this stream of unconditional love streaming into the center of our circle, just filling all of our circle with this pure, gentle, unconditional love. And turn your heart center, that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your chest, turn that into the center of our circle, to face the center of our circle. You can let that funnel tip up slightly and catch that stream of pure unconditional love as it streams down. Let it flow into your heart through that funnel. And with your breath, breathe that in to your heart center, like that funnel at the front of your chest is a breathing portal, and let that breathing portal breathe in this pure divine light and unconditional love. Breathe that in as deep as you can into the center of your heart. And as you exhale, just let yourself release any of the tension, any of the constriction from your heart space. Just let that go as you exhale. Blow that out with your out breath. And inhale, draw in this vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love through your heart center, all the way into the center of your heart. And as you exhale, relax, release, let your heart be soft. Exhale, release the blocks, the barriers, the tension, the constriction from your heart center. And again, as you inhale in this vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love, just let your conscious body lean back like you're leaning up against your own spine. And let that stream of divine light and unconditional love flow in through your heart center all the way back into the core of your body. And imagine yourself just standing in this gentle waterfall of pure divine light and unconditional love streaming over you. And let your conscious body be like a sponge, a dry sponge, and draw in, absorb in that vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love. Draw that into every pore of this dry sponge, and let it become saturated, satiated with pure divine light and unconditional love. Full and gentle breath. You can make a sound with your voice if you'd like as well. Really create some vibration in your fluid systems in your body, because sound creates vibration, and vibration creates ripples in the fluid systems. Your body is 75% water. It's more fluid than anything else. And so let the sound of your breath create ripples throughout your body. The sound of your voice, the movement of your breath, let it create ripples in the fluid system of your body. And if your body wants to gently flow, any part of your body wants to flow with those ripples, just give your body permission to move and to flow. Let that gentle stream flow through you and ripple throughout your fluid systems. With a nice sound, or whatever sound you want to make. And again, with our hearts together, from the center of our circle, we call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your vibration of your eternal compassion. And this is the divine womb of compassion, Ar-Rahman. It's one of the names of compassion we're going to be calling on today as we get into our healing and our transformation. Ar-Rahman is the first emanation from God consciousness. When there is a single solo God consciousness, there is the one and only. And this is according to the Sufi teachings. There is the nothing, and then there is the one thing. And the first emanation from the one thing is Rahman. Rahman is a womb of compassion. It is the womb through which all of the rest of creation flows to come into manifestation. Rahman. It is the eternal compassion that contains all of existence, that extends well beyond our time and space reality. Beyond that realm is eternity, and this is the realm of compassion, the divine compassion of Rahman, that contains everything within our existence as we know it from this perspective of the human form. Ar-Rahman. So just feel this Rahman as it encompasses our entire circle, our entire space, and it encompasses you and your entire space. Allow yourself to rest into the Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Rest into this ocean of eternal compassion, the first emanation of God consciousness. And in the Quran, The Rahman is the only one of the divine names that is used interchangeably with the name of God. Oh, I'm wanting to go on a tangent. I might indulge that for a minute. Because what is so incredibly beautiful about this is, I'm going to just open to a page in Fauzia's book of Divine Names, the 99 Healing Names of the One Love by Rosina Fauzia Al-Rawi, because there is something she refers to when she writes about Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, the most merciful, the one who brings blessings, the compassionate. Is it here? I'm sorry, it's in Rahim. Rahim, which is another that we're going to be using today, which is the most compassionate, the most kind, the merciful, the performer of blessed deeds, the most gracious. And this is from a chapter in the Quran called Women. It's about women. And she's speaking, I'm just going to read her commentary about it. She says, 2 things are essential on our spiritual path, which always expresses itself on the social level. The 2 things are to become aware of God and to become aware of the womb. The womb is the place of conception, the place where nurturing and protection come together, namely the 2 qualities a being needs in order to grow up in a balanced manner. The womb represents an inner, pleasant, and comforting state. We need to respect the womb that gave us birth as the locus of the creation of humankind in this world. And she lists creation with a capital C, as in the divine creator. The locus of creation of humankind in this world, which reminds us of our common origin and human kinship. To respect the womb means to always stand by the weak and the oppressed, to stand up for justice, and to fight the oppressors. It also means to respect and look after the cosmic womb, nature. For nature is and always will be the companion of faith. Nature is and always will be the companion of faith. And when you think about, I'm going to refer to another Sufi teaching, as I'm speaking with this, please continue to breathe in that pure divine light, the unconditional love and the eternal compassion. Let it flow through your heart. Let it infuse into the water, the 92% water of your blood. Let it circulate throughout all of your body, nourishing every cell and cleansing and purifying and restoring your cellular consciousness back to its original knowing of light and love and compassion, the truth of who you are as your core spirit. And continue breathing that in and letting it circulate throughout your body, letting it cleanse and purify and restore your consciousness to its original knowing. And I'll say, is another one of those Sufi teachings, that it is said that everything at the time of creation, when this creation was in thought form and coming into the subtle realms, everything as it was coming into creation, everything in creation was offered the opportunity to manifest with the trust. And the trust, as most scholars believe, is free will. Everything in creation was offered the opportunity to manifest with the trust, free will. Everything in creation said no to that offer because they knew that they could not have a better existence other than the existence that is in complete oneness and harmony with the will of God, with the will of the Creator, with the will that is the will of nature. Except for the human beings. The human beings said, we'll take that trust. We'll try that on. We'll play that game. right? So the human beings manifest here. We come in knowing. We know our connection with Source. We know divine will. We know that flow and what it feels like to be in flow with divine will and to be completely surrendered and to be one with the divine will. We know it in our beings. But we take that trust, that opportunity to manifest here with free will, and we try this out. And we come here and we have to forget divine will in order to separate from our knowing, right? On the human ego level, the human consciousness of forgetting, we have to forget and separate from ourselves in order to play out this game of what's going to happen when we exercise our own free will, right? Because honestly, at our core, our nature is that we know divine will. And if we didn't consciously forget it, we would always want to be there because that's where beauty and bliss lives. And we are beings that want to and yearn to live in beauty and bliss. But since we have forgotten, we have the ability to experience this world in its state of forgetfulness and use our free will from that state of forgetfulness and then try to figure out what the heck's going to happen until that place inside of us says, whoa, enough already. I'm calling for mercy. I'm calling for some mercy here. Help me get back. It's when that spark inside wakes up and wakes us up and says, I am yearning to return to live as one with divine will. Take me home now, right? And then that's the healing journey. All of the things we need to uncover and to release from ourselves in order to make our way back to living in perfect unity with divine will. Okay, so our question for today, very much relevant to everything that was said, by the way. It wasn't a total tangent. But the question for today is about humans and animals. And let me pull that up. This is from the upcoming book. The answer is love. Questions to explore as we transition into an era of peace. This is currently question number 5. What is our role with animals in the new era? What is the role between humans and animals in the new era? Are we supposed to eat animals? So I'll read to you what was downloaded here, and then you'll see why. We're going to talk about mercy. We're going to do a meditation process with the divine names of mercy and help to receive that mercy. Okay. So the writing goes, there was a time when we humans were supposed to eat the flesh of animals. I made, and this is the download speaking, I made animals to sacrifice themselves into my ocean of mercy, and then their flesh could be used for food, their hides for clothing and blankets. People are greedy. This too is a part of the pathway of perceiving separation so that you humans can discover truth and return to the ocean of love. Now is the time in the cosmic evolution to know love, to leave the ways of greed and harm at the expense of innocent beings. Now is the time for humans to awaken to the heedlessness, cruelty, and denial of their habits, to no longer take for granted the pain they have caused, to no longer blame their errors on status quo. Wake up. Think and realize the pain and suffering you have caused. Repent. Stop. Turn around to compassion and love. Stop harming the animals, the earth, the oceans, the air, and yourselves. Your planet cannot sustain it. Your bodies cannot sustain it. Your medical system cannot sustain perpetual illness-causing practices, making you sick and expecting pills and surgery and unnatural means out of alignment and harmony with the rhythms of the natural existence to bring you back into harmony. That's kind of a complicated sentence. I'll read it again. Your medical system cannot sustain perpetual illness-causing practices that are making you sick and then expecting pills and surgery and unnatural means that are out of alignment and harmony with the natural rhythms of the natural existence to bring you back into harmony. Only stopping the disharmonious behaviors and acting in accordance with natural laws, compassion, love, respect for nature and all of life, only this can return any human or the collective of humankind back to a harmonious life. To have health means to make whole, to become whole. You are not separate from each other. The era of self-sacrifice is over. The killing and disrespect must end. It was for a time a form of mercy. The practices have reached their limit beyond sustainability long ago. They must end. The only way back is to return and return now. Stop the killing of animals. Live in love, honor, kindness, respect, and unity. Do unto others as you would do to yourself and to those you hold most dear. You are not separate. When there is time for a change, the form of mercy changes. Eating of animals is no longer a form of mercy. It is a form of mental, emotional, physical, and environmental sickness. There is a new mercy coming now, one that will bring peace and harmony to the earth on a scale humanity has not known for a long time. Turn back to love. Open and prepare yourself for mercy. The only way back to love is through love. It is time for a collective returning to shift mass consciousness. Return now to love. Okay. When there is time for a change, the form of mercy changes. There is a new mercy coming now, one that will bring peace and harmony to the earth on a scale humanity has not known for a long time. I hope that gives you hope. It certainly gives me hope. So on that note, let's bring our hearts and let's call on, we're going to call on the divine names of mercy. There's 3 of them we're going to call on. If you've gone to the website, you can see them written there below the flyer form where you can submit questions. But the names, some of you may know them already. The first one I already mentioned, Rahman. Rahman is the ocean of compassion, the womb of the entire creation that resonates with the vibration of eternal compassion. And in case you're new and haven't heard my podcasts before or my meditation circle before, when we use these names in this is a language of Arabic. Arabic is one of the sacred languages. A sacred language means that when you speak the sound, it creates a vibration, right? Sound is vibration. And the vibration resonates at the frequency that is the same frequency of the energy of the thing it names. So when we speak the words, the sound codes in the sacred language, we are creating with the sound vibration, the vibration of the thing that we're calling in. So when we call Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman, we're calling on the merciful. We're calling on the most gracious. We're calling on the compassionate, the one who brings blessings. The one who brings blessings into our manifest existence. So when we call it Ya Rahman, and Rahman being, and Rahim, we're also going to call on Rahim. Rahman is like the ocean of mercy. Rahim is like the stream of mercy that flows to the individual from the ocean into the individual. So it's like the ocean and then the river that flows from the ocean into the specific points, the specific places, the specific hearts. And Rahman and Rahim are made from pretty much the same sound codes. But this, I just absolutely love this teaching. The name of Rahman, if you break it into the individual sound codes, and granted this is the name for the womb, which is contained in the female body of every species, human and animal. Humans are also animals, by the way, so all animal species. All animals, all species of the animals contain, the female body contains the womb. And the name of the womb is from the same name as Rahman Rahim, which is mercy. Rahman, the sound codes. Ra is the light, the ray of light. The H is the breath of spirit. The is the fluid existence. Ma is the potential of the fluid existence. And the n, the n sound, the nun at the end, is manifestation or soul. So Rahman, from the ray of light through the breath of spirit into the potential of the fluid existence and into manifestation. Right? So from the ray of light through the breath of spirit into the fluid existence and into manifestation or soul. This is the form and function of the womb. And the womb is of the vibration of eternal compassion, the ocean of compassion that contains the existence of life force on planet Earth in physical form. Rahman. When we call on this vibration of Rahman, I invite you to speak that name and let those sound codes resonate into the center of your heart. It can be very powerful to just spend time, even just, as much time as you can give it, more than we have in this time together here. But to spend the time, I'm going to introduce these three names and then we'll do this for as much time as we have. The Rahman, the Rahim, and the Ra'uf, right? Which is the compassion, the mercy, the kindness. They're all forms of mercy and compassion. And the Rahman is the ocean. The Rahim is the stream that comes in for the heart of the person. The Ra'uf is that kindness, the kindness that is extended from one being to another. Okay, so we're going to call on all of these divine names. The ocean of mercy, the stream of mercy, the kindness of mercy. The mercy and kindness, the gentleness that we can bring to each other between us on earth, right? So you have the ocean that you are contained in, the stream of divine mercy that streams into your heart, and the divine mercy that flows through us from one to another and between us. We're going to call on, and there's more to these names than I'm sharing here, but this is the subtle nuances between them. So Rahman, Rahim, and that's an M at the end, and Ra'uf. Ra'uf. And there's that glottal stop in the middle. Ra'uf. So let's call on these divine names, and I will use the pronoun in Arabic ya, which means O. Okay. So, and then I may switch to al, which means the, because you're calling on it to stream in, and you're calling on it to awaken the divine essence, that life force energy, that breath of spirit from within you that flows through your core and through all of your body. You would not be alive if breath of spirit were not breathing existence into your physical form, right? Because without that breath of spirit, the body dies. The body has no life force. So this breath of spirit breathes through you. It is inside of you. It is within you. It is what gives you life and consciousness. So let it awaken that breath of spirit within you, the divine attributes of Rahman, Rahim, and Ra'uf, as we call on them. And let it come from your source, the source as it exists outside you and around you, the heavenly source, if you will, the heavenly existence of it, and from within you, the divine essence of the truth, the reality of your existence within you. So let it come from both directions. Let it meet, and let that marry, right? Let it become married, become joined and unified, the outer and the inner. So there is only one divine existence. So we call. And if you have an intention you'd like to set, please take a minute and set that intention. Take a minute and set that intention. And we call Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf. And let this vibrate through your fluid existence within your body, awakening the divine knowing within you, and let your entire being be bathed and filled, saturated, satiated with compassion, with mercy, and with kindness. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf. And let that vibration flow through you. And if your body wants to move with that, start to ripple, just let it have the gentle motion. And let that motion just help the stuck energies and the old patternings inside you that you hold in your energy body. Let them release, unwind, and release as your body ripples. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf, 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 Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf. I invite you to continue to allow this to flow through you. Let this vibration move through your energy body, creating those ripples in your fluid system, helping to unwind the energies and the stuck patterning, the old stuff that is not relevant in the era of peace. Let all of that unravel and unwind and release from your body. Let it release from your mind. Let it release from your heart. Let it release from your soul. And let the vibration of your entire existence, your essence, be the vibration of Rahman, compassion, Rahim, the mercy, Ra'uf, the kindness. Let that vibration, your vibration, become the vibration of compassion and mercy and kindness. And I want to invite and make an intention that the collective of humanity as an entity, as an energy, rest into the center of our circle in this vibration of Rahman, of Rahim, of Ra'uf. And for the animals who have suffered and are suffering, that they receive this mercy and this compassion and this kindness, that they be immersed in it, and that they be loved and cared for and know that they are loved and cared for. They already resonate at these vibrations because they did not choose the separation that we chose when we chose the trust, the free will. They're already at one with the truth of the laws, the vibrations of the laws of nature. We offer them our love and compassion and mercy and kindness to alleviate their suffering, God willing, and we hold the entity, the energy of the humanity, the humankind, as we ask for this Rahman and the Rahim and the Ra'uf, the ocean of compassion, the stream of mercy, and the kindness, the extension of kindness, to flow through all of humankind, the collective consciousness, and to shift, to open us to higher forms of mercy, that the old mercy that was once offered as a way of existence for us, that old mercy of having this relationship that we have had with animals and using animals for food and for clothing and shelter or whatever else we have used animals for. That form of mercy is gone. There is no more of just pure mercy there. And I don't know that it was ever pure mercy, but it's going away. As we move into this era of peace, that vibration can't resonate in that era of peace. It can't exist there. The new mercy we open, inshallah, God willing, the humankind to receive the higher forms of mercy and to release the need for that old form of mercy. Release that need. Release that patterning and that templating and that belief that we need the animals for our survival and sustenance. Release that and let that go. Release the idea that we need and will need in an era of peace to sacrifice animals as a form of showing our sacrifice of ourselves to God. We release that can't continue. It can't follow us into the era of peace. We release it now and live now in the era of peace, with love, with compassion, with mercy, with kindness. So we call and we ask for the collective of humankind, the human collective consciousness, to open to the higher forms of mercy and release the need for the mercy that has come from the use of animals in any part of our lives, that we open to the higher forms of mercy and we become in relationship that is founded on compassion, on mercy, on kindness, and know that we are one with all of life and all forms of life on this planet. That we are not separate and we cannot live in separation any longer. So just imagine these waves of Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Ra'uf, just flowing through the collective of humanity, creating those ripples, releasing, unwinding those old patterns and releasing those old patterns from the collective of humanity, and awakening within humanity the higher forms of compassion, mercy, and kindness. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Ra'uf, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Ra'uf, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Ra'uf, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Ra'uf. Let the compassion, the mercy, the kindness flow through the core and through the heart of every human being into and through and to every other form of life on the planet. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Ra'uf. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf, 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 Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf. Continue with that. Forgive the rustling of pages here. I just thought of something else I want to look for to read to you from the book. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Ra'uf. So I'll read as you continue with that, breathing that in, resonating with those waves that ripple through you. Envisioning those waves rippling through all of humanity. And this says, gentleness and tolerance are essential qualities, especially toward children, toward the sick, the suffering, the weak, and the old. In my heart, I extend that to humankind and animal kind and all of life on earth. To fill one's heart with gentleness, tolerance, and kindness means to have found one's dignity as a human being. Gentleness and compassion do not abide by any laws. Human beings who carry the qualities of gentleness and tolerance. This is from Ra'uf, from the reading of Ra'uf in the Fawzia Rosina's book, The Divine Names, 99 Healing Names of the One Love. I'm sorry for that rustling noise. Human beings who carry the qualities of gentleness and tolerance have opened the source of divine grace within themselves. So open the source of divine grace within yourself as you allow this vibration of Ra'uf and Rahman and Rahim to flow, to resonate through you and flow through you. Let it flow, let that vibration ripple and flow through you. And this is from Neil Douglas Klotz's book, The Sufi Book of Life, 99 Pathways of the Heart for the Modern Dervish. And he says, when we breathe as if we were the only being in the universe, we can feel cut off from the sacred breath, sometimes called the Holy Spirit. When we feel that our breathing is connected with those around us and with nature, when we realize that we all breathe the same air, we're reminded that we do not simply exist for ourselves, nor do we have to do everything ourselves. We realize that we do not simply exist for ourselves. And we are not alone. We are not alone. We are all one. We breathe the same air. We drink the same water, right? And the water can enter into our atmosphere through meteors and things like that. For the most part, water is pretty much mostly a finite substance, right? And water flows through us. Water is constantly flowing through us. Water is a cleanser of us, right? And then it flows into other places and systems and it gets purified again and recycled. So the same water that makes up 75% of my body is the same water that makes up 75% of your body, and the same water that makes up the fluid systems of our animals and all of the other forms of life, the water-containing forms of life. Water is pretty much in everything, in some form and at some level of concentration. So, receive the flow of the water of mercy, of compassion, and of kindness, and continue to visualize, like help our planet to make this transition, this shift as smoothly and as willingly and as peacefully as possible, because the planet is shifting and we have the choice to go with it. So let's do everything that we can to help our humanity, our humankind, as much as possible to willingly, God willing, right? We pray for them, and we pray that the qualities of the compassion and the mercy and the kindness flow through all of humankind, the entity of humankind, and all of the planet, everything around the globe and its atmosphere, be infused with compassion, with mercy, and with kindness. And that we know we're held in the ocean of compassion. The mercy of compassion, the divine mercy, flows from that ocean and into the individuals, and the kindness, the gentleness, the tolerance flows between us from one to another. And this is the divine essence flowing through us and exchanging between us. So let's make an intention that continue to flow and to heal the entirety of our humanity and all of life on the planet. Okay? Just visualize that. Keep that in your thoughts. Keep that in your prayers. Let's be a part of the shift and the transition into the era of peace. All right, and with that, I will end the recording and open for Q&A, for discussion. I have a little short time today, but I'm happy to open for whatever might want to be said, so please do. If you're listening to the recording, you're welcome to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining us at joyfullyliving.com, or also communityforconsciousliving.com, communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, pick up a free gift, your 10 spiritual principles of our human existence. It's a one sheet that outlines just 10 principles about who we are, why we're here, what this life is about. It comes with a 15-minute guided meditation that you can download and use as a part of your daily practice to help you to align with and awaken into your consciousness the vibration of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion to be a part of you and flow through you and be you, you be it, it be you, as you move through life on the day-to-day. All right. So I thank you very much. With that, I'm ending the recording and opening for the Q&A.